7 behaviors of men who have zero discipline and self-control in life. Discipline and self-control are essential traits for personal growth, success, and maintaining healthy relationships. However, some men struggle with these qualities, often displaying behaviors that hinder their progress and create unnecessary challenges. These actions not only reflect a lack of discipline but also make it difficult for them to achieve their full potential. 1. Constant procrastination. When it comes to discipline, one of the first signs of trouble is constant procrastination. Interestingly, procrastination isn't just about laziness. It's often a case of poor self-control, an inability to prioritize and act on what really matters. When faced with tasks, a man with zero discipline will often put off what needs to be done. Instead, he might choose to indulge in distractions, choosing immediate satisfaction over long-term gain. This kind of behavior can be seen in all areas of life, from work tasks to personal commitments, and it's a slippery slope, because the more a man procrastinates, the harder it gets to break the cycle. However, recognizing this behavior is the first step towards changing it. 2. Lack of routine. Let me tell you a bit about my friend, James. He is a guy who lives in the moment. You see, James struggles with maintaining a routine. Every day for him is unpredictable. He wakes up at random times, eats whenever he feels like it, and his work schedule is all over the place. There's no consistency or structure to his life. This lack of routine, while it may seem freeing at first glance, is actually a clear sign of a lack of discipline and self-control. With no set routine, it's easy to lose track of responsibilities and let important tasks fall by the wayside. It's something I've noticed in other people too, this resistance to structure and routine. In my experience, it's often tied to a lack of discipline and self-control, so keep an eye out for it. 3. Poor financial management. Did you know that nearly 80% of American workers live paycheck to paycheck? This isn't just about income level, it's about financial discipline and self-control. A man with zero discipline often struggles with managing his money. He might spend impulsively, racking up credit card debt for items he doesn't need, or neglect to save for the future, leaving himself vulnerable when unexpected expenses arise. This behavior extends beyond just money as it shows a lack of ability to control impulses and delay gratification, which are key components of self-discipline. 4. Neglecting personal health. A clear sign of a lack of discipline and self-control is the neglect of personal health. This can be seen through unhealthy eating habits, lack of exercise, and poor sleep routines. A man with no discipline may often choose fast food over a nutritious home-cooked meal, or a night in front of the TV instead of a good workout. He may also have an irregular sleeping pattern, staying up late and waking up at inconsistent times. This neglect does not only affect physical health, but also mental well-being. It's a cycle that feeds into other areas of life, affecting overall productivity and happiness. Taking care of one's health is one of the most fundamental forms of self-discipline, as it requires making choices that benefit them in the long run, even if they're not the most appealing in the moment. 5. Not following through on commitments. I've been there. I once committed to a project, feeling the initial rush of excitement, only to drop it halfway when things got tough. It was easier to give up than to push through the discomfort. This is a classic behavior of someone with zero discipline and self-control. The inability to stick to commitments, whether big or small, is a telltale sign of lack of discipline. It's not just about breaking promises to others, as it's also about letting himself down. Every time they don't follow through on a commitment, they're sending a message to themselves that they can't be trusted to finish what they started. Discipline and self-control are about keeping their word, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. It's about pushing through the tough times, knowing that the reward at the end is worth the struggle. 6. Always seeking instant gratification. In today's world of instant everything, from fast food to streaming services, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking immediate rewards. A man who consistently chooses instant gratification over long-term benefits is showing a lack of discipline. It could be choosing a night of binge watching over getting a good night's sleep, or buying a new gadget instead of saving for a future goal. This behavior often leads to a cycle of short-lived pleasures and long-term dissatisfaction. It's easy to get stuck in this pattern without realizing how it impacts his life. 7. Blaming others and refusing to take responsibility. At the core of discipline and self-control is accountability. A man without these traits will often blame others for his mistakes and refuse to take responsibility for his actions. Instead of owning up to his shortcomings, he may point fingers and make excuses. This behavior prevents growth and learning, keeping him stuck in the same patterns. However, true discipline means acknowledging one's mistakes, learning from them, and taking steps to improve. It's about taking control of one's life, instead of blaming circumstances or other people. This is perhaps the most critical sign of a lack of discipline and self-control, as it directly hampers personal growth and development. Food for thought. It's about choices reflecting on the complexities of human behavior. One thing stands out: our actions stem from the choices we make. The Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoevsky once wrote, "Man is a creature that can get accustomed to anything. This includes both discipline and a lack thereof." In every action, from managing finances to maintaining personal health, it's about choosing between instant gratification and long-term fulfillment. The lack of discipline and self-control is not an innate trait, but a series of repeated choices. The choices that can be changed, and the habits that can be improved. At the end of the day, it's about recognizing these behaviors in ourselves and making mindful decisions to break free from these patterns. Ultimately, we are not prisoners of our habits, but architects of our lives.